All right, it looks like we are live on here. Just give me 1 minute to share this really fast. I want to put it up on a couple of my other pages and a few groups too, and then we will get ready to go. Happy Monday, everybody, as you're walking in, because you're walking into this Facebook Live. As you are logging in, happy Monday. And while you're logging in, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're logging in from. And how about we do, what made you laugh the most this weekend? Let me know where you're logging in from, say hello, and what made you laugh the most this weekend? Let's do that today. We haven't done that before. Where are you logging in from? What made you laugh the most this weekend? And then I'm just going to do a really quick couple shares here, and then we'll be ready to go. One more. Say hello, where you're logging in from, and what made you laugh the most this weekend? What was the funniest thing you saw, funniest thing you heard, something like that? And I will try to think of the same thing. There was something actually made me laugh really hard now. It's eclipsing me. It'll come back in a moment. Shoot, what was it? Let me get these screens maneuvered here. Oops, not that one. There's a whole art to doing these simulcast pages like this. I still haven't quite figured it out. Okay, cool. We're going to run with this. So as you're logging in, everyone say hello, where you're logging in from, and what made you laugh the most this weekend. Really quick message today. I probably say that almost every time. So I don't know if we define it. Usually I try to keep these around 10 minutes, and some may find that as quick, some may find that as a little long-winded. I can do both. But I just want to share with you an idea today, a concept that I was thinking about. I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and we started talking about the primacy of humanity and how there's this struggle, right? Maybe it goes to our lizard brain, as some might call it, some of our more primal roots and origins. Maybe that's part of the appeal of even professional football, is that it strips it down to its core, and it's people competing, and you're competing through almost like a violent combat in a way. And that how this plays out in dynamics in our relationships and political areas and all that is there's a struggle for power. And it's such a crazy thing, because with all we know about humanity and all we know about people and all we understand about human behavior, and we know that universally across culture around the world, all 7 point however many billion of us that share this, what is it, the third rock from the sun, we share the same human needs. We share the same desires in the sense of we're all motivated by avoiding pain, gaining pleasure. Our values are different. Our beliefs might be different. But if we trace them in origin to why we believe what we believe, why we value what we value, we'll likely find that there's some commonalities even with the people who have the greatest extremes with us. And so what we see play out, at least publicly, is these reactions, anger, finger pointing, name calling, and all those types of things. And on the surface, it seems like it keeps us, for me at least, as a casual observer watching it, I see it as this behavior that keeps humans from evolving, keeps us stuck. And so my friend and I, we started to have this conversation about what is the next evolution for humanity. And we stumbled onto this concept, and I really believe in it. And it's a idea of leading with love. It's leading with love because here's why. If we boil human beings down to the core of who we are, right? The two greatest fears shared by all humankind is the fear of not being enough and the fear of not being loved. And sometimes as we go up and we grow up and we start to do behaviors that we may not agree with, if we strip them down to their absolute root core, we'd probably see that somewhere in there, there's some driving or motivating behavior that stems back to those in some way, shape, or form. Now, their actions or words or whatever it is they say may not seem like that in the moment. And part of that challenge is our own reaction to it, And this isn't in any way to condone or praise behaviors that we see certain people do. There's, quite frankly, there's behaviors that I see people practice all the time that disgust me. But what this concept of love and leading with love suggests is it's to suggest that if we want to evolve to a higher version of ourselves, perhaps what we need to do is find a way to see each and every human being on the planet from a loving place. Doesn't mean we have to agree with them. Hell, it doesn't even mean we have to like them. But what it does mean is that we just choose to see them from a place of love. A place of love that's filled with all their flaws, all their bad habits and bad behaviors, some of the horrible and awful things they've done. And again, this isn't saying we're going to wrap our arms around them and embrace them as a brother or a sister, because there's quite frankly a lot of people out there who I would never want to do that because some of their behaviors disgust me so much. But the challenge, as at least I see it, is even though their behaviors may disgust me, I would never want to be friends with them. I never want to talk to them. I never want to speak to them. I want to communicate my thoughts and energy towards them from a place of love. And the reason why is because it releases what love does, which is a really remarkable, which is why I think it makes love so powerful. And what would, in essence, be real, true power to the umpteenth degree is that love releases us from judgment. Love releases us from anger, from hatred, from the emotions that may steer us off course, from the emotions that may pull us down. And love releases us from guilt. It releases us from shame. Love releases us from pretty much everything that might be an emotional weight that pulls us down. And where love leaves us is it leaves us with a freedom. And that freedom is to choose how we respond, how we act, how we react. Love leaves us with a freedom to choose who we spend our time with, how we value someone. Love gives us a freedom to choose the lessons we take from something. We have the option where something good or bad happens. We can look at that as a good or bad. I was talking to the same friend about something that happened to me earlier this year, and I was really disappointed. My ego got in the way, all these types of things. And it took me a couple of days to really calm down from it and start to say, okay, what can I learn from here? But to do that, I had to switch. I had to flip the switch from being angry, pissed off, right, wrong, to love. I had to be able to get to a place where I could send love out to all the people who played a part in it. I had to send love out to myself and just be able to forgive myself for my own contribution to it. And I think that if we were all so I imagine that humanity, like one of our next evolutions, might be that we all wake up in the morning and we ask ourselves, the first thing that pops in our mind is, how can we love more today? How can I send more love out? And if you ascribe to this, that's great. If you don't, that's totally fine too. I'm sending love to you anyways. But if you do subscribe to this, or you're at least curious about it and you want to use yourself as a guinea pig just to see how this feels and test it out, my challenge to you would be is to pick one person. And I would not necessarily start with your most mortal enemy or the person you swore off and you have a voodoo doll of and you routinely stab it every day. I wouldn't necessarily start there. But if you wanted a real challenge, that would be a great place to start. But choose someone, and it may be someone who you actually know in your life. It may be somebody you don't know. It may be somebody who's like a figurehead or whatever that is. And challenge yourself to see them from a place of love, not a place of reaction, not a place of judgment, but just a place of love. And that might look something like, okay, here's this person who does these behaviors, says these things that I don't agree with at all. But if I strip away all of that and try to get to the core of who she or he is and try to understand why they're doing it, maybe you see a frightened little child in there. Maybe you see someone who suffered when they were a kid. Maybe you see someone who they're so void of self-love that they act out in such a way to try to project. And who knows? You never know what you're going to discover until you allow yourself down that path and to peer into that dark hole, and you might find something really wonderful. And again, this isn't to say that you need to then go up to them and embrace them and sing kumbaya, invite them into your home to sing kumbayas. Not at all. What this really is about is it's about giving you the opportunity and freedom to be a deliberate creator in your emotional experience and to allow you to evolve, at least in my perception of humanity's evolution, allow you to evolve in such a way where you're no longer shackled by your emotional perceptions of someone else. You allow yourself complete freedom. And in that complete freedom, you're able to be free to see, do, act, respond however you want. Because you act, see, you always, your base, your foundation is always love. And then you just love, and that's it. And from there, you can really decide if you want people in your life. If you don't want them in your life, you don't have to like them. You don't even have to want to hang out with them. But it's just really about making that choice to choose love first. So I don't know. I would love to hear what you all think about this. If this is something that you've thought of before, it's kind of a random thought today. I'll have maybe a little bit better story tomorrow. I had one I wanted to share today, but I don't know. This was just on my heart as something worth sharing. So there you got it. Lead with love. Give it a try. If you're up for the challenge too, which I invite you to, if you're up for the challenge, share it in the comments and let me know that you're going to challenge yourself for the next 24 hours to lead from love. And then that way I know who it is and I can connect back up with you tomorrow and see how you did with that. Or maybe you can circle back around and post an update and let us know how it goes. All right, everyone. I hope you found value in this. Thanks so much for being here with me. I will be back here tomorrow around the same time, actually maybe a little bit earlier tomorrow. I hope you had amazing weekends. I hope your week is off to a fantastic start wherever you are, whether it's morning, noon, or night. I'm sending lots of love to you. Oh, Jennifer, thank you for sending the love to me. I appreciate that. I'm sending lots of love to you. And remember, carpe diem, seize the day, seize this moment, live it from a place of love, use it as a foundation to make the next moment even greater. We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye. Amy, Lynn, Lisa, great to see you in here from the Moving Forward group. Thanks for joining in. Be sure to join in for our Thursday night training too. It's gonna be good. Hey, Maria from the UK, thanks for joining in on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you back here tomorrow, hopefully.